Okay, so now we're on task SS4. This is the task that a lot of you were asking questions on. It's where you have struggled the most. So please pay attention to the explanation behind how you do each of these tasks. Because sometimes you read these exam questions and you have the tools, you know how to do these things, but you just don't know how to interpret what the question is asking you. So Martin is concerned about the percentage used for some cottages is too low. Martin thinks that if the percentage used is less than 40%, reducing the daily rate by £2 will increase the number of days rented by 5. So part A, use the necessary spreadsheet tools to automatically highlight the percentage cells red, which have values 40% and below, and also highlight in green the percentage cells which are rented 65% and above. Now, I already know that that's conditional formatting, because that is something that is followed, that will format your cells based on a rule. So in my home section here, conditional formatting, highlight cells rules, less than, and in the question it says less than 40%. So I'm just going to change that to 40 and press OK, and that's been done. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure those cells are still highlighted, and this time highlight cell rules, and this time greater than. Now, in this case, in the question, it says that are 65 and above, so I need to make sure that it's greater than 64. I need to change this here to green and then press OK. And that's how you do part A. Now, part B says to screenshot your method for doing this with the newly formatted data and a concise explanation of word process document titled SS4. Make sure you explain the benefits of applying this formatting. Okay, so you get a mark for the correct screenshot. I'm not going to show you how to screenshot, you know how to do that. And you get 2 marks for your explanation. So what I explained to you is that you have set a rule. Okay, so if any of the values change, okay, that will automatically apply to it. You're not just using the paint bucket tool here, you are setting up a set of rules and it will automatically highlight it for you, and you can set different colors. So the next task here, part C, this is the chunky one, this is the juicy task, okay? This is the one where people see, oh my gosh, I've got like 4 sets of formulas to do, and they start panicking. That's exactly what happened when I gave this to you guys in our lesson. The questions that were popping up were specifically to do with SS4, C, and the questions I got were, I don't know how to do it. There was no breakdown, there was no explanation of actually it's part I, it's part II, it's part triple I, and so forth. Okay, people just got overwhelmed. So I'm going to explain each of these ones individually to you so you understand what to do. So we'll start with revised daily rate. Now, if you remember here, it says that he would reduce the daily rate. So Martin will reduce the daily rate by £2 and will increase the number of, and hopefully should increase the number of days rented by 5. So the revised daily rate should only apply to any of our cottages that are in less than 40%. So we need to go in and we need to do an if statement. So you can click the FX tool and we're going to double click on the if, which is up here. So I need to first of all check that if the value in this cell, okay, is less than 40. Okay. If it's less than 40, okay, what I need to do is I need to get my daily rate and I need to deduct 2 from there, because remember I'm taking £2 off that. Okay. If it's not less than 40, I just need to keep it the same as what's originally there as the daily rate. So does that make sense to you guys right now? So I've done the test. I've gone to see that if the percentage in here is less than 40, if that is true, I'm going to deduct £2 from the original daily rate. And if it's not true, like in this case, we'll be keeping it the same. So I press OK. And again, I'm just going to use my fill handle and apply that down. And we can see if it's true or not. So we can see here in this case, it's less than 40%. £15 is the original daily rate, and it's now 13. So I can see that that's worked. And you can just do a quick check by having a look over. So that's the revised daily rate. The next one is the revised days rented. So the revised days rented, so that again has information based up here. So it will increase the number of days rented by 5 if it's less than 40%. So again, we need to do an if statement. So go back into here, revise days rented, click my FX tool, using an if statement again. Again, we're doing a comparison. We are checking the percentage used. If it's less than 40%, if it is less than 40%, okay, we're going to take the days rented and we're going to add 5 to it. If it's not, we're just going to keep it the same by clicking on the original days rented and press OK. And again, I'm just going to use my fill handle, drag down. And again, you can do some quick checks. So 63 plus 5 is 68. Yep, that's correct. These have all stayed the same. And the last bit here is the total revised, sorry, not the last bit, the revised income, okay? So the revised income would then be equals, and what do you think we're going to do here? If it's the revised income, we need to take the daily rate and we're going to multiply it by the revised days rented. I'm going to use the fill handle and drag down. So the last bit is the total revised income in H32. So let's have a look, H32. And again, we're using our auto sum. And just as before, we don't want H31 included, just want up to H30. And that is almost all of SS4. So that's the hefty, juicy section there done. Save. And now D. So Martin also wants a grade to appear for each cottage, depending on the original daily rate. Use the table below to automatically generate a grade for each cottage. Place this column of data between daily rate and days rented. So between daily rate and days rented, I'm going to insert a column. So right click, insert, and we want it to be grade. So I'm going to type grade in. And looking at this, I'm going to have to use a VLOOKUP. So I need to go and fill in this information so that I can refer to it later on. So it's going to go 0, 1. I'm going to put that information on here. So we've got numbers 1 to 5. And it doesn't matter where this goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 0, 20, 0, 20, oh, 75, 150, and 200. And we're calling this the hotel grade. So you can just highlight that and I can merge the cells. So I need to do a VLOOKUP for this. Now, if we go back into the question, it's dependent on the original daily rate. So that's what we need to focus on when we're doing our VLOOKUP. So we're going to be in this column, I'm going to click FX, and we're going to look for VLOOKUP. So I've got mine here. And what is the value we're going to look up? We're going to look up the original daily rate. The table array is going to be this one here. I'm going to highlight that. That should not be in that cell. Let's go back up and do that again. So click on there, click the table array, highlight that. So column index, so what is the value that I need to return? Well, I don't need to return this value, I need to return the value in the second column. Okay, so right now it's saying the value in the lookup that we're looking up is 100. Okay, we're looking at this. okay, it's currently rating it as a 3, okay, because it's not 150, so that makes sense. And we need to find the closest match, so we keep that in as true. Press OK. This has been formatted to currency because of this one. So I'm just going to just change that to number and get rid of the decimal points. And if I drag down, why didn't it work? Yep, it didn't work because what did I forget to do here? Forgot to use my absolute cell references. So I didn't fix this table. So I need to make sure I do that. Why is it will not work? Press OK and do that again. I drag down. There we go. That is the daily rate. Sorry, not the daily rate, that is the hotel grade. So the last thing you need to do is you'll just need to be saving 2 PDF files. So one of the 2015 worksheet showing the data and the formula, just showing the different views, which you already know how to do. And that is all of the spreadsheets task.